I will be there with you every step of the way, directing you, guiding you, so that when you get to the end, when you are at your destiny, you will no longer need a guide. And ultimately, that's what this audio program is about, is self-empowerment. What you gain by going on this quest is that you earn the right to not only become the lead actor in your life, but you also become the director and the writer and the producer of everything you do. You become the lead actor in that you will have full benefit of your emotional commitment to everything you can fully be and express. That's powerful. You'll also become the director of your life in that you'll be able to have the ability to step outside of yourself and your story. It's a highly valued skill to wake up within the dream of your life and know the story arc, know where this is going. My intention for you is to become your own. Finally, and yes, I mean every word of this, you will become the author of your own destiny. You'll become the writer. I'm going to read briefly from the Destiny 5 Experience book. This is from the introduction. Suppose I had a pen. Not just any old pen, but a magic pen. What if I told you this magic pen had the power to create anything you used it to write it about? It would be like having a magic wand. All you would have to do is write down that which you wanted, say a new car, and then you would have it. Poof, fabricadabra, a la peanut butter sandwiches. There you go, one new car. Yeah, whatever, you say. Then you follow up with, like I haven't heard all this before. Yet something keeps you listening to my story about this magic pen. I tell you that for this magic pen to work, you have to complete a quest. This quest might take you about 60 days or so, but by the end, you will know precisely why the magic pen works in just the matter that I've described. More importantly, you will understand how this magic pen works. This quest will have taught you that it was never the pen that was magic, but your taking the quest itself makes you magic. By the end of the quest, every pen you hold for the rest of your life could be designated magic. I'm going to skip ahead a moment in the introduction and ask you to think about your favorite movie, or your favorite television show, or your favorite popular work of fiction. Now, I want you to think about the story that you admire. I want you to think about a character that you identify with. Have you ever noticed how a movie or a compelling work of literature can hold you captivated? It's almost like there's a magic spell placed on you when you are engaged in a very compelling story. I'm going to go back to the book now. Every popular myth, all of our movies, television shows, and popular fictional writings subscribe to a natural order within the plotline of their story arc. This order engages a character or protagonist through a series of challenging events which makes the story engaging and enticing to a reader. There are variations, of course, but to someone who has studied the monomyth or hero's journey, we begin to see common themes even if they do vary in intensity and sequence. So our lives are no different than this hero's journey order if we say yes to it. If you're human, you've already experienced much of this hero's journey already, whether you know it or not. Now, when we combine the conscious knowledge of our own personal hero's life journey with the law of attraction principles, and we'll get to that in a moment, this is where the true miracles happen. You literally come into the power to write your own destiny. Ladies and gentlemen, that journey is alive and well today. By listening to this audio recording, a door is opening up to you. A hero's journey is calling, and you will know how to say yes to your own personal quest. In fact, you're saying yes simply by continuing to listen. Any attempt to explain more to you here and now is not going to be enough. You must come on a hero's journey yourself. Merely passively listening to this program or reading the book, The Destiny 5 Experience, will simulate the hero's journey and give you as close of a vicarious experience as possible without actually taking on a quest yourself. However, within these audio recordings, I will ask you, the listener, some questions and challenge you to a list of exercises. If you choose to say yes to your own personal quest, you will go out and seek the answer to these questions. You will also participate actively in the exercises that I put in front of you. Now your 60-day quest has begun. Now, if you're still a little bit fearful or a little bit skittish about entering into this quest, let me tell you about the results of some of the people, some of the women who have already been a part of this quest. One woman who had almost given up on life because she considered herself a failure and her finances were crumbling, she attracted $500,000 within this 60-day quest. Another member, after ending a long-term relationship, wanted to get back into the game of love. But the quest worked a little bit too well for this person as they attracted two love interests at the same time. So the story turned into a little bit of a love triangle. Yet another member, a teenager, was having difficulty getting cast in her high school play and having confidence issues. By the 60 days end, after facing a challenge and responsibility of embodying the artist for her generation, she rose to the challenge of working in the professional theater industry, gaining confidence, and have her choice of any college she wanted to attend. Another woman and member of the Destiny 5 experience was an interfaith ordained minister. Her mission was to offer empowerment programs for women. She did this by teaching burlesque. Hers is a story that demonstrates that you can take two powerful forces like religion and sexuality and make them both work for you in life. And finally, there was a member of the Destiny 5 experience, a mother, who after wrongly having her life, family, and career nearly destroyed by a catastrophic court case, bounced back from it. After this traumatic experience, she became a healer and a crusader for faith. After 60 days, she emerged victorious with a new sense of purpose and self. Her new purpose now was to create an organization to make sure that no other families and no other children suffered the injustices that her family had endured. And me? Well, I wrote the first draft of this book in the first 60-day quest. What I didn't know at the time was that I was unconsciously exploring one question. And that question was, if I were to write a book using the law of attraction, these supposed powerful forces of the universe that can make anything happen, to write a book, one of the most powerful, relevant, successful, and ultimately meaningful spiritual books of our time, what would that book look, feel, and sound like? Now, granted, that was a tall order, but that was the question that was going through my mind writing this. You see, I was the spiritual community's biggest critic. I believed in it, but it didn't work for me. So I wanted to find the answers. Now, if you're anything like me, you might have already picked up a few books, picked up a few audio programs. And believe me, I do not take for granted you're taking your time to listen to this audio program. And I'm very grateful to you. Now, if you're listening to this audio program, chances are you've already heard of the law of attraction or The Secret or any other of these metaphysical studies that are supposed to bring things into your life that you are intending on. I'm going to go back to the Destiny 5 experience. If you're reading this book, you probably already have some experience working with the law of attraction, which states that like attracts like. In other words, if you feel happy and fortunate, you'll attract happy and fortunate circumstances. You probably are also familiar with the law of deliberate creation, which means what you specifically ask for and focus on, you will receive. And finally, you're probably also aware of the third law, as described by the Abraham Hicks material as the law of acceptance, which means other people have the ability to create things in their worlds too. Now, if you associate negative feelings to someone else's deliberate creations, you harm your own creative potential because of the negative feelings you're putting out. Law of attraction, as I've come to know it through the quest, has been a much more personally rich and fulfilling journey than I ever could imagine, evolving into more than just the mere experience of getting what I wished for. Now, truly to master this universal law, you have to take what scholars have called the quest, or the hero's journey. You see, that's the fine print that they don't tell you about in a lot of these other popular materials about the law of attraction.